Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of NuReview. I'm Tyler King. Before I wanted to take a dive back into the Peter Murphy review series, which I am going to finish up, do not worry, I wanted to address something that was recently announced by Beggars Banquet or Beggars Archive, which is a reissue series of the first 5 Peter Murphy albums, which are, of course, released through Beggars Banquet, as well as a bonus record of rarities, remixes, single edits, B-sides, etc. throughout those 5 albums. So if you'll indulge me for a little bit, I wanted to talk about that. The first thing that I thought of was that it's been a very long time coming for some of these albums, particularly Cascade, which we'll talk about in a minute. Um, a few years ago, they did release a Peter Murphy 5 CD box set, which had those same 5 albums. So, just so we're all on the same page, those albums are the first album, Should the World Fail to Fall Apart, his second album, Love Hysteria, his third album, Deep, his fourth album, Holy Smoke, and then his fifth album, Cascade. Now, that 5 CD box set did not have a bonus disc of rarities. Instead, it had bonus tracks on each of those CDs that would correspond to those particular albums. So B-sides from Should the World Fail to Fall Apart would appear on that disc, and so on and so forth. So I wanted to go over differences between that CD box set and what we're getting with these 5 albums being reissued on vinyl. So the first thing I wanted to go through and break down what the bonus tracks were on each of those CDs. So Should the World Fail to Fall Apart, those bonus tracks were the Up version of Canvas Beauty, the third version of Should the World Fail to Fall Apart, Peter Murphy's cover of Stay by David Bowie from the Station to Station album, Final Solution Club Mix version 1, and the extended version of Tale of the Tongue. Now, if you think it's weird that only the extended version was included on Should the World Fail to Fall Apart, that's because on Love Hysteria, the first bonus track is the 7-inch or single edit of Tale of the Tongue. Also on the Love Hysteria CD was I've Got a Miniature Secret Camera, a previously unreleased demo called Critic's Choice, the USA edit of All Night Long, and then the demos of Socrates the Python and the cabaret mix of Fun Time. The bonus tracks on Deep were Roll Call Reprise, A Strange Kind of Love version 2, The Line Between the Devil's Teeth and That Which Cannot Be Repeat 12-inch remix, Cuts You Up USA alternate edit, A Strange Kind of Love remix edit version, and Deep Ocean Vast Sea instrumental version. The Holy Smoke bonus tracks were The Sweetest Drop Rave Edit, Cool Cool Breeze, You're So Close Radio Edit, The Sweetest Drop Radio Edit 1, Hit Song Single Edit, and then The Sweetest Drop Rave 12-inch Mix. Now, most interestingly enough, for me at least, were the bonus tracks on Cascade, which were all demos or rough mixes. So you had the rough mix of Wild Birds Flock to Me, a demo of a song called Groovy Place, and then the production rough mixes of Wish, Sail on White, and Satin Nights, or Cascade. So what does that leave us with on the vinyl box set? Well, the first thing is that there are bonus tracks on the Cascade vinyl, which would make sense because the Cascade vinyl is going to be a double album, or double LP. So on sides 1, 2, and 3, you have the entire Cascade album, and then on the fourth side, or side B of record 2, you're going to have 4 bonus tracks. A production rough mix of Mercy Rain, the backing track of Gliding Like a Whale, the backing track of Sail on White, and then the backing vocal, or backing track of Wish. Now, this is interesting news because Two of these four bonus tracks have not been released before, and those are the production rough mix of Mercy Rain and the backing track of Gliding Like a Whale. So if you are interested in hearing those and you want to, support the artist and the label legally, this is going to be the only way to get these two songs. Now, we do have that sixth LP coming out, which is called The Last and Only Star, which is almost like a compilation of some of the bonus tracks that were on those CDs. Now, this was made and compiled in with help by Peter Murphy, so he himself is involved in these LPs being reissued. So for The Last and Only Star, we have Final Solution Club Mix 2. Now this is interesting because this was not included on any of those CDs, and it's also previously unreleased. There is a club mix of Final Solution that appeared on the 12-inch single of that, but Club Mix 2 is something that I've never heard before. Next is the original version of The Light Pours Out of Me, which is an album track on Should the World Fail to Fall Apart. Again, this is previously unreleased. This is probably the song on The Last and Only Star that I'm most excited to hear. The third song is the single edit of Tale of the Tongue, which did appear on the Love Hysteria CD. Next is I've Got a Miniature Secret Camera, which again appeared on the Love Hysteria CD. Next is the remix edit version of A Strange Kind of Love, which did appear on the Deep CD. On the B-side, it opens with Cool Cool Breeze, which was on the Holy Smoke CD. The rave edit of The Sweetest Drop, which also was on the Holy Smoke CD. Groovy Place, which was on the Cascade CD. And then we have Wish, which was the B-side to The Scarlet Thing in You, excuse me. This is interesting because this is the quote-unquote final version of it, which was not included on the Cascade CD. Instead, we had the demo version of it. So this is the first time that this song has been re-released in any capacity since it first appeared on the Scarlet Thing in You CD single. And then finally, we have Jamal version 2, which is a different version of the closing song on Should the World Fail to Fall Apart. This also was not included on any of the CDs, however, it did appear as the B-side to the UK 12-inch single of the song Should the World Fail to Fall Apart. So that wraps up the differences and the similarities between what you're getting with these LPs and what you did get with those 5 CDs that were released a couple of years ago by Beggars Banquet. I personally am very excited for The Last and Only Star. There's a couple songs on there that, as a Peter Murphy fan, I've never heard before, and also that have never been issued on vinyl before. Songs like Wish or Cool Cool Breeze. Those are ones that I'm very excited to hear, especially the original version of The Light Pours Out of Me. That, I have no idea what it means when it says original version, so I'm very excited to hear that. And now we do come to the issue of mastering. Now, when Beggars Banquet announced these 6 LPs, there was no information about if they were remasters, if these were just going to be the original mixes that were used on the albums when they were originally released. So I did reach out to them on Instagram, and the only information that I got from them was that they are 16-bit remasters. I assume that they're going to be the exact same remasters that were used on those CDs that were reissued already by them, but I'm not 100% sure. So what that means is that if you are an audio file and you were hoping for these to be, 24-bit remasters or things like that, unfortunately they are not. These are essentially going to be CD quality songs pressed on vinyl. So whether or not that is something that is going to deter you from purchasing these, that is completely up to you. I was going to buy a box set that was initially announced with the LPs, but it sold out in about 8 hours. So I wasn't able to get it. So what I did was I just panic bought the ones that I don't already have, which are Deep, Holy Smoke, Cascade, and then, of course, the Last and Only Star compilation. So, personally, I'm very excited to get these. I've been looking for Deep and Holy Smoke on vinyl for a while. I know that sites like Discogs or even eBay, I could go on there and with a click of a button purchase one and have it shipped in, but I really enjoy the thrill of the hunt and finding something in the wild. Uh, I know that that was never going to happen with Cascade. Cascade was only issued on vinyl in Spain, I believe. So if you were looking for an original pressing of Cascade, even on a site like Discogs, you're looking at spending upwards of $200 or $300 for a copy of it. Now, that's also because in the 1990s, vinyl was not as hip as a format as CDs were, or even cassettes. So you had a lot of albums being released on CD and cassette, and vinyl was really just seen as an afterthought. Now, the other thing about the Cascade vinyl that I'm really excited about is those two new bonus tracks. Also, all the albums are being pressed on colored vinyl that corresponds with like either the color scheme of the album or if there was a song on the album that mentioned a particular color. So like Love Hysteria is pressed on indigo vinyl because of indigo eyes. Get it? Um, Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to give a quick rundown of what's going on with those. Um, Hopefully you're excited for these reissues like I am. I know that when the CDs were initially announced those 2 or 3 years ago, I've been waiting ever since then for an announcement like this, and I am very, very happy and excited that finally they are going to be released on vinyl. Again, the sound quality is not going to be something like audiophile quality, but Beggars Banquet did say in the messages that I got that the albums were initially recorded in 16-bit. So I'm not an audio engineer. I don't have any sort of degree when it comes to mastering or anything like that. So I can't say for sure if you can upscale 16-bit to 24-bit. I don't think you can, but again, I'm not a mastering engineer. I don't know. So it does seem like, at least for the time being, these are going to be the only reissues of these albums that we're going to be getting for a while, if not at all. So if you are a Peter Murphy fan and you do not have any of these LPs already, I think that this is a perfectly viable way to get them. Also, they're fairly inexpensive. I think that the single LPs were something like $18 each, and Cascade was something like $25. So you're not spending a lot to get albums that haven't been on vinyl in some instances over 30 years. So just some things to consider. Just wanted to make this video kind of, you know, airing some of the information that I have to you, hoping that you're able to, do with this information whatever you will. Take my advice, don't take my advice. That's fine. But anyways, like I said in the last video, the Peter Murphy review videos are going to be finishing up soon, and then I do have some other content that I'm working on that I'm very excited to share with you guys. In the meantime, if you want to stay in touch with me, if you want to keep up to date on my day-to-day, I do have a new Instagram, which is at Ghoulish Grooves. I'll post a link in the info section below. So in the meantime, I am Tyler King with NuReview. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.